Hey guys, what's up? Druid Sage here. So, finally we are going to find out what parry type is the best. Block, fencing or balanced. And I just finished a video, a juicy video comparison between the weapons. And yeah, this is the first time anybody has tested it kinda scientifically. And this has been a hot topic since the ages, since they reworked the block weapons to do some secret stuff. I hope everybody knows. When you block, you get adrenaline stack, 2 stacks. You can attack, make an explosion, stagger an enemy, and do 90% bonus damage. And since then, it's been a debate. Now, over the time, people kind of realized that block is very good, so they started using it more and kind of got to the even point. So now from that even point, it was very, very hard to debate for one or the other, because we didn't have, how to say it, we had the tools to test it, but nobody actually tested it in that way. I don't know why. But all we had was like vanilla content, and that was operations. So everybody was talking anecdotally on Reddit, on Discord, on YouTube, comments, even content creators testing the weapons, whatever. I'm gonna do a true solo decap, an absolute, and I'm gonna try fencing, and I'm gonna try block. And for most people, fencing worked. It just works. They can complete it. With block weapons, they cannot complete it. For them, fencing is better, and that is a valid argument, and that is a valid test for them at the time. But there is an universal truth. Also, it can go vice versa. Somebody can say, "Oh, I demolish everything with block, but with fencing it sucks, whatever, for this and that reason." It's all anecdotal. Like, it doesn't matter. We completed decap 100 times with both types, with all types, balance, block, fencing, all the maps, increased spawns, whatever mods. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The test is not viable because there are so many variables in an operation. Like, you're just gonna complete it. Maybe you can time it like, okay, I completed it faster, but the spawns spawn differently. You can get double bosses. You have to do an op with double bosses, with same spawns, with everything. So yeah, it's kind of a drag, and that's how it was for some time. Now, I don't know why I'm talking this like it's fucking lore story. As you know, I don't script the videos or anything. I just talk and upload the shit. So hopefully it will be good, so I don't have to delete it. Anyway, let's get back to the lore. Patch 8 released the Siege mode. Now, the Siege mode, people kinda realized that block is a little bit better. In that mode at least. Just because of those mechanics. More damage, more base damage, secret increasing damage mechanics. That also stagger, and it also give you armor, and also the block parry window is very good because it's at the end of an attack. You just block at the last moment and you're free. You do not have the gun streaks or anything. You can just keep shooting. For example, this is very valuable in tactical. You apply battle focus, or even without battle focus, you apply the parry debuff, and you just keep shooting and destroying the enemies. So it's kind of a no-brainer, for Siege. Unfortunately, it's not a real horde mode to survive the waves. You're not trying to survive, you're trying to push more, because we have a timer. It's very stupid, but it is what it is. So, it switched from anecdotal evidence to more of a factual evidence. So now we have something to look, like stats. Okay, I did this wave, what wave did the highest comp achieve, what is the best comp, what are the best weapons, and it turns out the block weapons are the best. Like I said, best burst, best control, gun strikes can be deceiving. I don't want to say gun strikes are weak, but you really need to be careful with gun strikes because you can get grabbed, you can get whatever hit by enemy on the side, and it can be really punishing if you misuse a gun strike. So combining all that stuff, people just realize that block is better, and everybody kind of jumped from equal bandwagon to block weapons. Now fast forward, I feel kind of now that the debate is still going and it's kind of split. Maybe it's 60% block or something, just my feeling, I don't know. Maybe it's 50-50, maybe it's 70-30, but siege mode is not the only mode, so we have more modes. So what do we have? We have stratagems and we have ops. Now ops we had before, we know already everything about that, but the stratagems really changed a lot, I think, and it showed. I mean, the game is totally played differently. It's like, I mean, it's basically stratagems like in every single other game that has stratagems. It's like a modded game. You have modifiers which can change a lot of things, and for example, I talked about this before in my videos, but you know, nobody watched, so nobody knows. The hardest stratagems, like ultra hard stratagems, for example, when they released the stratagems, the hardest one were suboptimal state, surgical strike, extreme challenge, class restriction, what do we have more, armor malfunction, etc, etc. Now when the mod released, everybody, you know, started you know, spamming the block weapons, I assume me also, and it was just not working. Because if you take, for example, suboptimal state as release, it was 75% reduced HP. That is insane. 75%. Now it's 50. Last patch it was 66. So that just tells you how overtuned it was. And on 75% reduction, like, also the stratagems have base, like stratagems are absolute plus, you deal 15% less damage and you receive 30% more damage. That is absolutely insane. So 30% and 75%, you know, of course it's not 105% or whatever, it's close to, I don't know, whatever is the number, but it's very low. Like, you can get one shot literally by anything. And for this, you know, the Power Fist was, I mean, still generally considered the most powerful weapon in the game, and it's just not true. It's the most powerful weapon in the game for certain content. If you want to run the Power Fist on 75% reduction and armor malfunction, you cannot do it, because you know how the Power Fist works. I explained that. I have like factual evidence about this, like all the stratagems with the suboptimal state that I completed back then. I didn't use the Power Fist because it was impossible to use. Even with all this damage reduction, the way you play Power Fist, the block Power Fist, is you will basically trade some shots 100%, and you're trading contested HP for an execution. So, you know, you hit an enemy, you burst him, whatever, extremist, majoris, terminus, you can't really trade with him, but you know, that's what you're trying to do. And you cannot charge a fist and tank anything, literally. You will be deleted. So that's why Chainsword is better, or was better. Now we have X, which is unbelievably strong just because of the mechanics it has innately. Otherwise the weapon is horrible. But yeah, that just tells you the meta changes, and it's not so, how do you say it, black and white, you know, block is better. No, it's not. That's why I use some other weapons, like fencing chainsword, block chainsword, even the heroic one. Now we can even talk about the balanced. sadly I didn't make a video about this, but I have the video about this, talking why heroic chainsaw is so good. For example, if you're playing a stratagem with class restriction, I know that is insane, nobody plays that, but if you want to challenge yourself in the vanilla game, the hardest content, that is possible, that is content in the game, it's not modded. So if you want to do that, the best weapon is heroic chainsaw, because only the stats matter there, because you cannot parry, that's the rule. You cannot parry, and you have 50% damage reduction, so it's best to take the weapon that has the fucking most stats, and that is the most evasive. That is very important, because you cannot parry. You need to have a weapon that is evasive so you can dodge out of the attacks, and taking power fist for that is just stupid in my opinion. Like, doesn't matter, block, you can remove it, it does nothing. Yes, it does great damage, but like I said, the power fist is all about trading and break points. If you cannot hit the break point, it doesn't matter, the weapon is useless. So that's why this weapon is best. You can check that out on my channel. All runs I did with like, I don't think anybody has on YouTube, like true solo class restriction with assault. It's absolutely brutal. Like, I even did it with suboptimal state, so you literally have almost 0 HP. Like, anything that touches you, it's over. So yeah, let's not get too much into the balance now. It's more about fencing and fencing the block, but I hope this this is introduction to saying that it's not so black and white. All modes require different weapons, and that is good. That's what makes the game, more replayable and whatever. And just explaining that even balance can be viable. Now, I didn't do these tests specifically in the balance parry window because I don't think it will perform well. Actually, maybe, I don't know, because this weapon actually has secret mechanics. I talked about this also before. If you've been following me for some time, I've been doing siege mode with balanced power fist, and I was kind of getting the same times as block, honestly. Of course, I didn't know the tech, I was playing too defensively, but the thing with balance is they hit the break points, and the balance parry window is very underrated. It actually has a hidden mechanic. Like, of course they don't say you this, but when you parry with a balanced weapon, enemies are staggered in 4-meter radius, and when you parry with a fencing weapon, enemies are staggered in 2-meter radius. So this is huge actually, especially in siege. Like, you can become almost immortal, especially on assault, where you can just dodge out of the... If you fail a balanced parry, you can just do a back step, and you will get a perfect dodge instantly. So it's fucking unbelievable, and the weapons are definitely viable, but the thing is, siege is not the hardest content. Like, even the highest waves of siege, it's not that hard, guys. Like, if you could just spawn at the, let's say, wave, I don't know, let's say you are doing true solo hard siege, that's the hardest content. I mean, solo is always harder than co-op. I mean, on co-op you can go further, you can get more, you receive more damage, blah blah blah, but you have 3 players, you can resurrect each other. The solo is the hardest content in the game. So, for example, wave 27, 26, 27 on assault, or whatever class, now even tactical is 27, 26, I don't know, doesn't matter, but some of the highest waves, you will notice, if you ever been there, that enemies don't attack you, because you know how the AI works in this game. You have a token system or whatever. I have a video about that, AI manipulation, check it out also if you're interested. Basically, 3 enemies can attack you in the same time. more or less. So for example, if you get to 27 siege, 26, bunch of, I mean, even at 15 it starts showing, or 10 to 15, even maybe earlier, but at the end, like, it really shows nothing is attacking you. Like with war, you will never see, watch any siege content, you will never see a whip warrior attacking, except on the early waves or if they are the last enemy. Whip warriors don't attack, ranged enemies don't attack, even the melee enemies don't attack, which is interesting. Basically, only thing you are attacked by are extremists, and even the extremists are hindered. For example, Zonotrop, he cannot attack because all this shit. There's too many enemies. Like the system is too cluttered. Like nothing can attack you, and you're basically playing 1v1 with extremists. And the only challenge, I mean, I can even argue, the higher you go, it gets easier, especially on assault, because you have so many enemies. You're just ground pounding them. You have iframes, permanent iframes, invincible. Nothing can touch you. It actually becomes easier. It doesn't matter, like, a little bit more damage, how much you get per wave. Is it like 2.5% or something like that? You receive 2.5% more damage each wave. I have to check that out. But anyway, it's honestly not that significant. Yes, you can die in 2 hits, but you can still die in like 3 hits on absolute, so it isn't really a big difference. But my point is, it is not the hardest content that this game can provide. Like, it's not a good test just because the enemies don't work. Like, only danger in that mode are the extremists. Sorry, not the extremists, the terminus. And what's the thing with terminus? For example, multiple carnifexes. They don't have the token system. They are absolutely brutal. So they're smashing you while you're trying to fight with those 2 extremists that are attacking you. Maybe, something shooting you. Maybe three enemies maximum. And even with those 3 enemies and 2 carnifexes or triple carnifexes, it's absolutely brutal because there are no rules. Everybody is attacking you, and that is where we can test how weapon actually performs, in that kind of scenario. So, how can we recreate that scenario? Well, for example, I don't know if there is a mod, probably. You can just go straight to the wave 40 siege and test stuff. And I can assure you 100% the damage would not matter. It would not matter if the time is not the matter. If it's just complete this one wave. If it's about the survivability, you would use Wings of Flame on assault 100%. Like, you will not use this. If you have infinite time, you will just use defensive build, armor reinforcement, Wings of Flame, and you're basically immortal if you know what you're doing. Or maybe you can even do, like, with the aerial grace, just like perseverance, maybe something like this. Still you're iframing ground pounds. Well, it depends if you'll have enough damage to kill the enemies. But yeah, you get damage resistance, and I don't know about this one, but Wings of Flame for sure. Maybe even like this. You are just gonna get infinite dodges, burn all the enemies, especially triple carnifex. It's a joke on siege, because only they are attacking you. Like, and on the way, like while you are doing Wings of Flame, you will burn all the other enemies or that 2 or 3 extremists that are attacking you. So anyway, let me see how long I've been talking. Almost 20 minutes. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, and that would be only, reasonable test, like how we can test at the highest wave, at the highest difficulty, what weapon performs the best. Now, I've done a test like this, and something like this. I mean, it could have been done before. I just want to make something interesting, and we will use a test menu. And what we are going to do is basically I made my scientific test, and what we are going to do, we are going to spawn maximum amount. We are not going to spawn majorities, minorities, because they just clot up the AI, active AI, or the token system. We're just going to spawn bunch of extremists and melee extremists. So maximum amount of lictors. I mean, we can even spawn zonators, but it doesn't matter, they won't attack. So we're just going to spawn maximum amount of they might even take up some I don't even fucking know the name, what's it called. They might take some token system and a queue on the token system and fuck up the attacks. So it's best to just spawn maximum amount of lictors, maximum amount of raveners, and that's just not enough. I've did this before, like it's pretty easy, you can do it with whatever weapon you want. But if you've seen my last video, we can even spawn a Hive Tyrant, Trigon, it's called Trigon Prime also. We can spawn a Tyrannid Prime, and it's absolutely brutal. Now, if you seen my last video, they don't start attacking until you kill all the extremists. So that's kinda contradictory, I mean, yeah, we can test it versus multiple bosses, but I mean, it won't matter. Like, it's not the hardest if you have to wait. So what we can do, we can spawn a boss, like normal terminus boss, like a Carnifex, and he will ignore all the other lictors and raveners. So he has his own attack queue, whatever, like he's just attacking ruthlessly. And we have a bunch of lictors and raveners that are attacking. They are not limited by anything, they have their own token system, of course, but they are much more ruthless than in Siege, like infinitely more ruthless. And you cannot follow them because there is 40 of them on the map. You cannot predict anything. I mean, you can, but you have to be extremely cracked to see everything. So yeah, they are way more brutal than in normal operations, in stratagems, or in the fucking siege mode. So yeah, that's what I discovered. I mean, that's known from before. I know it for quite some time, but that's how I usually quote unquote train, or try to get the hardest shit out so I can train parry windows, wings of flame, etc, etc. And it's actually pretty entertaining. So with that, we are going to spawn a Carnifex, and this is extremely brutal. I cannot describe you how brutal this is. Now, we can make it even more brutal, but I don't want to bring up mods that are not vanilla. So this is vanilla, we are just spawning more enemies. It has no active AI mode. I mean, we can even put that in, that's even more brutal. Like, we can really see what weapons can do on an ultra modded, ultra hard game in isolated setting. But yeah, we're not going to do that much. We're going to do something that we can actually complete in a couple of tries, and it's gonna be fucking brutal. Probably 99% of the players can't complete it, and it's best to be completed on a class that uses both type of weapons and doesn't change the perk. So I think because of that, I'm perfect for this this test, because as you know, I play Assault a lot, and I play a lot of Wings of Flame. So basically we're going to take the same build. Like, this is the strongest build in the game for harder stratagems, for whatever you want. I mean, it's even good in Siege. If you don't have a timer, this is the best. Like, this is just the best build in the game overall. Now, like I said, there are different modes, whatever. But what we have here, important stuff for survivability: armor reinforcement. After gunstrike, we are going to get armor back. Well, when I mention armor reinforcement, now that I've been yapping for 30 minutes, I want to mention that this tech only works with armor reinforcement. So if you don't have armor reinforcement, like for example, if you take fencing on Vanguard, I don't think that's good because you just don't have the tools to do it. But on Bulwark we have armor reinforcement, so that's why we are going to test it on both of those classes. But Bulwark, you have to give up, something to take the other one. And on Assault we are just running the same build because it's the same build for everything. Now you can maybe take Precision Strike. I like this one more because it just gives you 15 seconds of no knockback. I think it helps. Actually, does it help versus Lictors and Raveners? They still stagger you anyway. Not sure. Anyway, you do AoE ground pound, and we are not gonna take Smiting Angel. 30% less range damage. It can help versus Carnifex range attack, which can occasionally hit us. Now that is one RNG that we cannot avoid. I mean, there is no other boss I can spawn that is as brutal as Carnifex. I mean, I cannot spawn Chaos, they will fight each other. But anyways, Carnifex is a lot better boss for this. So what did I want to say? We need armor reinforcement. If you don't have armor reinforcement in a class, fencing weapon is pretty much useless. I mean, that's the main thing. Like in all my builds, I talk about armor reinforcement, the best perk in the game after Invigorating Icon. It's just so good because it lets you do a gunstrike freely. So you gunstrike, you get 1 armor back, and if something hits you while you're doing the gunstrike, it doesn't matter. He will just take that 1 armor away. Then you can dodge him or fence him, and then you can get more armor back, and over and over you're just feeding the armor and doing the gun strikes freely. So that's why we're going to test it on those 2 classes. On other classes it is not viable, in my opinion. On the hardest stuff, like this cannot be completed without armor reinforcement. For example, on Assault, I mean, you can. I tried with Overcharge, but Overcharge does nothing, It does literally nothing. Maybe Power Fist, you cannot use Power Fist here. There are way too many enemies. Maybe you can use X, but the thing with X is, like I said, X is only good when there is not too many enemies attacking you, because you cannot back-to-back block. You have a delay where you need to wait for a power stance, which is fucking awful. I cannot explain how awful this is, but we can overcome that on Bulwark with animation cancelling. On Assault we will not use this because we will die in 2 seconds. Maybe we can use it to ground pound everything, to try to delete, but there is so many enemies, we only have 2 ground pounds. We cannot use the Zealous Blow because we cannot get anything back. Like, maybe if we go like this, we can one-shot the Lictors and Raveners and get something back, but still I think you cannot survive without Wings of Flame here. I mean, somebody can try, tell me in the comments or whatever. It's pretty rough. I mean, it took me 3 attempts on Assault, so I mean that's pretty brutal, if you're not one-shotting this type of content. It's pretty difficult. So yeah, like I said, we are using the strongest build in the game. Armor reinforcement, contested HP, more damage. This works on both builds. If you've seen my guides or whatever, it's good on fencing weapons with gunstrike or without a gunstrike. Still adds a bunch of damage, and it adds damage to Wings of Flame. So if Wings of Flame does 100 damage, this is 20% more, this is 15% more, that's 35% more, and you're just burning the enemies. It's very helpful, especially with a large horde. We have commitment, and this is the same build. Also, we are taking duelist because it is so fucking brutal with so many enemies. Like, this is actually the only the only situation I would recommend taking duelist, because it actually helps. So that is it. We are yes, also the weapons. We are going to take the chainsword because we can just take. It doesn't have any additional gimmicks, anything. It's just the base weapon. We're taking the block chainsword and the fencing chainsword. On assault, same build. Everything is the same. Both builds are great. You can complete the hardest vanilla content in the game with this. And we will use Bulwark with fencing because we can animation cancel. With the block power X, we can reliably block literally anything, just like block chainsword. And we will be using fencing power X. But we'll make one difference on Bulwark. We'll take armor reinforcement instead of steel within. So, I mean, logically, if you're going for gunstrike build, you're going for armor reinforcement. If you're going for block build, you probably need steel within. You're not gunstriking much with Bulwark, and we're taking invigorating icons. So, yeah, let me show you how the test will be conducted. Okay, for example, we take this is the build. Man, why am I talking for fucking half an hour? We just go into the, I call it the hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah, so we will use test menu to spawn everything like I said, and we can just replicate this 100 times. Same spawn, same map, same everything, and this is how we're going to do it. So invulnerability, non-targetable until we spawn the enemies. Spawn NPCs, Tyranids, Lictors, and Raveners. Like, we don't want to spawn Zonotrops. It doesn't matter, they are fucking ranged. So bunch of Lictors, I don't know how much. It used to be 20, I think it's 18 now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's only 15. I'll have to check with Hypes why is this the case. It used to be 20, but we have 15 of these guys, 15 of those guys, so I guess it's 30. And we're just going to throw in one Carnifex just so he can mess the things up, because I already completed this before, like easily, reliably, 100% win rate with both block and fencing weapons. But we want to push it a notch further, and we are going to spawn a Carnifex which can attack on his own terms. Now we can even spawn 2 or 3 Carnifexes, but that would be impossible to complete on assault. I mean, you will just get bursted so fast that I mean, maybe you can burn them with the Wings of Flame still, I mean, if you're good god tier, but one is enough to make things hard. So we do it like this, and I'll keep the invulnerability. I'm just showing what the test will do, and you just let them go. And I mean, you can see it's pretty fucking brutal. There is no Q, there's nothing. He is even shooting while we are dodging. Everything is fucking attacking. So you see he is charging while we are getting attacked. So that's absolutely brutal. And we can see which parry window is the best, but obviously we will be using Winds of Flame here more than the weapon, but still we will be using the weapon, and we can replicate the results, same spawn, same bosses, same boss, same weapon, same class, and we'll do it even on Bulwark. We do change one perk, but yeah, I mean, just for the test, that's how it goes. You want to take armor reinforcement when you're going fencing. So let me just show you how brutal this is. Now, not going to try too much, but probably going to die instantly. Wait, I'm marking it. Okay, let's see. Like you see, it's pretty brutal. You're losing HP, like you need to focus. You really need to be on top of your game. So that's how the test will go. I mean, I can try to just for fun. Let me see. Ah, okay, and that should have taken that gun strike. But yeah, that's how it goes. It takes quite a while, 6 or 7 minutes. So I don't want to bother now. I already filmed the video. We're going to test that. Assault, Bulwark, same thing. And yeah, that's about it. Enjoy the video, and I'll share my thoughts in the end, like a recap, which one is better, which one isn't, and what are the times and whatever. I'll edit the gameplay. See you at the second part of the video.
Tread carefully. Ravenous lurk below. Carnifex. The hive mind taker. A lictor stalks you. Secret prayers. Free of an angel of death. Lictor now wearing the shroud. Jump pack refuel. The ground rumbles no more. The Imperium's hammer rises to strike. Avenging will expose you. A tunneling Xenos burrows it. The liquid now. Jump pack refuel. That Ravener shall carve no more scars. Fight and let terror fall. The Lictor, veiled by alien stealth. Be as an angel of death. Order its hers very soon. I'm airborne with wrath shall reign. Avenging angel at your disposal. Sight unseen, the Lictor stirs your voice. Be as an angel of death. Xenos brutes have no place in the galaxy. Xenos lurkers stab at you. This Ravener is destroyed the last swatted land. Shall reign. A Lictor hunts us, veiled by alien stealth. That Ravener. Jump pack refuel. Righteous storm! Order returns. Avenging angel. An angel of death. The Xenos scum should have remained in place. Jump back for you. Physically, the Raveners are his own grave. I am airborne ready. The lictor now wears the death. The ground rumbles no more. Pretend. Ravenous lurks above. A lictor stalks us. Cease the prayers. We eliminated the shrouded menace. Jump pack review. The vile Khan effects no longer sully this. Avenging angel will expose sight unseen, the lictor stirs away. Nim's hammer rises to strike. That Ravener should carve no more scars. We eliminated the shrouded menace. I am airborne ready. That shall break. Releasing frag grenade. Jump pack refuel. The lictor now wears the shroud of death. Order returns to the very center. I am airborne ready. The Xenos scum should have avenging angel at your disposal.
Stay alert. It could be biological. No Xenos Xenos monstrosity may escape.
Fast, Emperor's sword!
Victor fumbled his tactical advantage. No foe will attack you, Jack. Behold the supremacy of Oak. Soon fields follow for the last time. This sexy beast knows the job. What's your footing? That's ready to deploy.
Sending fracking!
No foe behind you. Just quiet, Triforce!
You shall regret putting hands on the star!
That is one dead eye written there. We have trampled the chittering pirates. This rather
Unleashing fracking!
tunnel destroyed. Stand behind me. The soil no longer trembles at the rapid presence. No Xenos monstrosity may escape with its wrath. No foe may justice. Filthy thieves borrowed from last time. This ravenous tunnel fumble tactical advantage. Watch your footing! We have trampled the tittering parasites. Deceptive beast knows with a gun. Am I it by horse? You shall regret putting hands on an Astarte! Tyranid Tunna destroyed. The Tyranid Juggernaut has been eliminated. Behold! The supremacy of ultimate. The soil no longer trembles at the rapid process.
Okay guys, so just a quick outro. I hope you enjoyed the video and comparisons, and tell me what you think. What weapon performed better? I put the timers, and the runs were done on a Bulwark. It was one shot, like both runs were pretty easy. Maybe I should have added other carnifex, but you know, Bulwark is a tier on its own, and you have invigorating icon kind of to cheese the stuff, and you have to change one perk, so I didn't think it was too reliable. But now on Assault we have same build, basically everything is the same except the weapons. Of course enemies are the same, everything is the same in the test. In my opinion, and I always thought this even before, fencing and block are pretty much the same. There is no difference, like in terms of like high stand when you are not competing for the speed or anything. Pretty much the same, different playstyle. But I have to mention that fencing is only viable with armor reinforcement. Without armor reinforcement, it's not viable. But with armor reinforcement, it is. And you know, it's interesting that fencing actually has a lot higher skill cap. You know, people usually say fencing is easy and whatever, but this is very, very difficult. Like, to complete decent fencing, you have to be really cracked. Like, you know, it's very, very difficult. I must give that to block. Block is a lot easier for this challenge, just because you can focus on your surrounding much easier. It's relatively easy to block. Also, the parry window is generous, like I don't know how many frames, but yeah, you can block. You don't have to be stuck into gunstrike animation, and with fencing you have to be so aware of your surrounding. You have to be so careful when you gunstrike. Like, it requires really advanced game knowledge and positioning, and just do you want to fence one target, two targets? You cannot just gunstrike like a monkey, because you will die 100%. Yeah, sometimes you want to fence it and just do wings of flame immediately after. Sometimes you want to do a gunstrike and just tank that shot, you know, because you have armor. So it's really tough. Honestly, I was surprised. Yeah, on Assault, and on Assault I did 3 attempts on both weapons, so fencing and block. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I'm filming this after the first part, so yeah, 3 attempts. I did block fencing. Kinda got hang of it after a while. Maybe it was a skill issue, I don't know, but I still think the test is reliable and scientific, whatever you say it in English, because it has to be hard, it has to push you, and I completed both on the 3rd attempt. Now I must admit, also block, like I said, it was easier. I was closer with the block on those 3 attempts, just because of that, you know, the awareness and everything. It's kind of a snooze fest. You have that free damage, you have that, you know, you can go into the air, slam the target, one shot him, get that execution frames. On fencing you can't really do that. You have to rely on plasma AoE, maybe even get some contested HP with the plasma bug. So yeah, overall, I don't know, I mean, if you're maximally skill capped, I would say it's the same. but if you're not skill capped, like if you're absolutely cracked and know like see 30 lictors, you know, going Raveners going from underground, like if Ravener is going underground and the lictor is jumping and the Carnifex is you know, doing his charge attack, like you cannot block that, you cannot fence that, like you cannot even dodge it. You just have to Wings of Flame it, you know, to survive. So it's pretty rough. Like even on block, you had to use a lot of Wings of Flame. Like blocks only won't save you. So yeah, but they give slight edge to block. It's a little bit easier to use and a tiny bit more powerful. But if used properly, fencing can be very powerful. I completed the hardest stratagems with fencing, most of them, just because of that sustain, you know, armor regen, and overall it feels cooler, you know, when you do some awesome gun strikes. Also, I mean, the block feels also cool, you know, when you hear the sound cling cling cling, you know, multiple blocks, very satisfying. But I don't know, guys, I've been talking too much. Anyway, it's up to you to decide. I provided you this content, and that's it. If you like the content, like and subscribe. If you don't, it's okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.